Welcome to the Runner Dudes podcast. Everyone is welcome. Runners are welcome. Walkers are welcome. The running curious are welcome. We're going to widen the door to running and soften the impact for anyone willing to lace up and show up. Today can be the day you take the first steps towards physical, mental, and spiritual well-being and become the person you are intended to be. We hope to inform, inspire, listen, learn, and help you start your own running journey, all while being moderately funny and low-key entertaining. Let's go, baby. We don't have a guest. Everybody knows we don't have a guest. It lies on our shoulders to make this thing happen. And goodness gracious.
Can't have that.
I cannot have that.
What about it?
What about it? Hey, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Today feels
big.
Feels like a big deal.
Monumental.
In my house, birthdays are, my wife celebrates her birthday for the entire month of September. I didn't know this was a thing. Birthday month. And she's not, that's not a joke. She's dead serious about this. And so, guys, this is the 1 year anniversary of Runner Dudes podcast. Let's go.
1 year.
Let's give it up.
Let's give it up. Woo. Let's give it up I want to first of all start by thanking me for coming up with this idea.
No one else.
And nobody else. I want to go straight Kanye on this.
Gosh, I'm going to let you finish.
What would have people thought, man, I was going to go crazy if I'd never come up with the Runner Dudes podcast? Now we'll never know.
No, we'll never know.
It is kind of strange how it spawned into what it is now.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure we had this conversation.
We had it 12 times.
In the receiving office at Express Footwear.
Yes.
And it would always start talking serious about what we were going to do, and then it always just kind of diverted to something
sidetracked. Which
that's pretty much about what we've done.
Yes, that's perfect. We were practicing what we do on the air with our early conversations about it, and it just never came to fruition. But that is so true, man. It's just like your thoughts become your choices become your actions, and your actions become what happens. And so you had to put one foot in front of the other. We were waiting on Jimmy.
Yeah.
And so I built a relationship that's it, with Jimmy. And so he came along with the technical know-how. We do want to say, obviously, we start out, we don't want to miss a beat here. Express Footwear on Interstate Drive. Go see them. I'm so grateful that we've got a runner store, a running-centric store here in Cookeville. We want to say thank you to Jonathan.
Yep.
And so we've been, I don't know, probably half the 6 months of this, we've been able to do video as well so everybody can see our faces, which has, I think, been a huge bonus to everybody.
To our wives.
Maybe.
My wife has to see my face every day.
I don't know. Not with this lighting.
It is bad because the gray hair, my hair's not this gray.
It's blonde.
It's blonde.
I've not noticed any comments waiting for someone to say, yeah, you guys need to go back just to
That's the audio. It was so much more palatable.
Got a face
more
made
appealing.
for audio. And just want to say thank you to everyone that has, it's for real, like we make jokes about how we've got 12 listeners and we know we've got 20.
Got more. We definitely have more. I hear compliments all the time.
Yeah.
Very, very grateful for that.
Yes, that we were just having a little State of the Union about where we're at with Runner Dudes, and not a day goes by that somebody doesn't mention it. I get a text message about it, and so this has been a lot of fun. We really enjoy it. We hope you've taken away something from it. So just thank you. We do want to get into this. We're going to try to make this brief. We're not going to beat you over the head with everything we've done in the past year, but question to Dusty, what have you guys learned in our first year, and how are you dealing with all the fame?
So, never honestly, be 46 this year. I've never anticipated in my life that I'd be a part of a podcast. So that's been something new for me. Never really honestly thought I would be comfortable with doing this. Done a lot of public speaking. So just doing something new. I hope that's an encouragement to other folks that stuff like that can be done.
Yes.
And I don't know, man. Dealing with the fame has been pretty tough. I mean, it's been something
every day.
It's super. Well, they say it's surreal.
It's surreal every day.
It's a very sincere compliment. I was thinking in the last podcast how much you've grown from the moment when we were at my house recording just audio.
Yeah.
And to now, I was going to tell you off mic, but I just am really proud of you. I thought you've
appreciate it.
And not that being introverted or quiet is bad.
Yeah.
But I did see that for you, this was a stretch.
Yeah.
And I think you've stretched. And I think
Very strange, man, because I could honestly stand and speak to a room full of folks. This is a little bit different, very different.
It is very different. I mean, and of course, obviously I'm a little more on the extroverted side. I don't know if anybody's picked up on that. And so love talking about myself, and I know that that's something I need to work on. So, keep the comments to yourself. I don't care. And it's something I'm working on. It's a character defect. I know I've got it. But it is, when you start a podcast, it's no longer, something happens when that light comes on. And it becomes like, now we're recording, and now I think everything I say sounds ridiculous, and oftentimes it does. So you have done great.
Yeah,
for sure.
And to see how uncomfortable you were on those couches over at your house, and to see where you're at now has been really cool. So that's cool to see that. I do want to very briefly just remind everybody, I think one of the coolest things, one of my favorite episodes is the first episode.
Yeah.
Where I learned that you were in the Army, that you had been through a lot, and that was kind of what made you gravitate towards running, and your mental health journey. So just a little bit about that.
So just brief history. I did serve in the military for about 12 and a half years, 13 years, pretty much time in service overall, inactive to active. I did have 4 pretty extensive combat tours within Iraq and Afghanistan both. Battled a lot of mental health that I didn't know what I kind of uncovered after the fact, because that stuff was really, really kind of tight-knit and very taboo in the military at the time. But I went through a pretty tough time. I've been a runner for 26 years. That was that was an outlet for me for that. And then it became all pushing that beach ball down, not talking about it. So long story short, I did have to get to the point to where I needed some type of outside help other than myself, which I thought I could fix everything.
Yes.
Because I felt like I had done that for so many years. Hid a lot of things from my family, from my wife, from my son. Finally uncovered some things. I did seek help. I went through. I was an inpatient for at a mental health kind of rehab facility to kind of unpack all that stuff, man, to figure out what was going on. And I do some pretty kind of cutting edge and serious cognitive therapy that I did then. I'm supposed to do that, certify through that like once a year that I do. And that's basically discovered that I had two TBIs, which TBI is traumatic brain injury. It's, I guess, if you're not familiar with that, it's like a CTI in football. You get banged around on the head from explosions, from different things. One side effect of it that I am seeing more now than when we first all kind of did this is short-term memory loss, man. I can, and it's kind of scary because I've told my wife about it here lately too. Dealing with a little bit of that, so sometimes that's a little bit uneasy. But I knew that it's going to happen.
Sure.
So I have to. I don't know if that's, you talk about when you get older you forget things, but at the same time I think about kind of what's kind of maybe speeding that process up. A little bit scary, but I mean I know, man, everything's gonna.
That's in God's hands.
It's
for
in God's hands for sure. It's going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
You were talking about favorite episodes. Definitely first episode. You kind of learn more about each other, how you're alike in many different ways. But also one of the last episodes before the last, I don't know. We talked a lot about unpacking faith.
Yeah.
And how it's affected us, which I think that's a super tough thing to talk about nowadays because a lot of people don't want to hear it, or you feel like you push people away, so you kind of have to be careful. But really, you shouldn't be careful, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it. So that was another one. Those two are probably my 2 favorite episodes for sure.
I agree. I think those, if I had to point to, of course, all of our guests have been great. I enjoy cutting up with our guests, but those were 2, ones that we talk about. And being transparent in your journey, I know somebody is going to hear that.
Yeah.
And hear that you have dealt with mental health from traumatic brain injury from service. And again, thank you for your service. Yeah. Learning that you're, an American.
Words I hated to hear.
Sure. Oh no! Listen, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, man. I don't know why. I don't know why that always bothered me. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, we don't feel obligatory in
Yeah.
saying it. We mean it, and we're grateful for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I know that. It's just weird how that. I don't know. That used to. Always,
I have other friends that have been in the service, and they're just like, oftentimes, I've even heard them say, like, for what?
Yeah.
Like, like I just did my job or things like this.
Yeah.
And it's a job that had to be done. And I wasn't signing up to do it.
Yeah.
And so, especially if you've made sacrifices from your family, but things happen, and it is, like you said, it is taboo.
Yeah, man.
And we don't want to talk about these things, and they've got to be talked about. And my story with recovery, I share my story not as to me beating my chest and saying, "Hey, look at me, my life's so great." It's to say, "Hey, this is where I was. I was as low as I could possibly get, and was pushing friends away and being asked to not come over to friends' houses and things like this. And it's tough, man.
Yeah.
And so I had some very tough conversations. And I found on the day that I first of all said I need help was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
The most empowering day of my life. And so that also started my spiritual journey.
Yeah.
And I say all that to say it's so connected. And running, I have found, is the thing that I know we say this time and time again. It is the one thing that is so transcendent. It is meditative. It is a connection that I have with a higher power when I'm out on runs. This morning, I ran at 4 a.m., sun's coming up, and it's just, I had such a beautiful morning, and I knew my day was going to go well.
Yeah.
And so I was setting myself up to have the best possible day. Jimmy?
Yeah, I've just enjoyed. I'm just, I've always joke. I'm just so proud to be here.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's from a movie or something, but my grandmother always said that because they'd be like, "Well, Mama Frank," that was what we called her. "How you doing?" She's like, "I'm just so proud to be here."
So proud to
And
be
it was
here.
kind of a mic drop, and so I've always kind of said that. But sincerely, life is too short, and so I'm enjoying like making friends and doing things I enjoy. And I'm in a season of kind of betting on myself. My history, my job history, I was at the River Community Church, which is a church in town, for 15 years. And I served for most of that as the worship pastor. And it was a great opportunity. And there's so much to say about it. But towards the end of it, I was just kind of realizing like I felt pretty safe. Felt pretty comfortable.
Sure.
And I think there was things that the Lord was asking from me that I wasn't willing to try, and risks that I wasn't willing to take. And so over the last 2 years, I just celebrated 2 years in my business of—
Let's go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And I don't have a great elevator pitch, but I basically create commercial audio and video content. So this is definitely in my wheelhouse of things that I'm doing. And so being with you guys, has been just great to just make new friends and just to enjoy fellowship and company. And then 2, to get to do projects like this has been great. And so, in May of 2003, I kind of made the leap to do this work that I'm doing. It's a real blessing. I feel like God's met me in it. I enjoy how I get to work. I like being the decider. I like having, of course, I'm serving the client, but ultimately I can kind of work in the rhythms of my life the way that I see fit, and that's a real blessing. And so this podcast has been a great excuse to get together, friends. And I feel like I've learned a lot.
That's something too that's very unique about the trifecta here.
Yeah.
Is we all are, we've all came from, your normal 9-to-5 jobs that we've, like you said, you felt comfortable, and now everybody basically, like you said, you like to be the man. You like to call the shots. So, we are.
Sometimes I don't like being the man.
Sometimes it does backfire.
We're fortunate enough to be able to own.
Yes.
Serve your clients, serve your customers,
Yeah.
and do what you do. And I think when you can find that, not saying that everyone is supposed to run their own business, but when you find something that makes you happy, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And as far as favorite episodes, when we're laughing, that's my favorite. It's a hobby of mine. I just love it so much, and it gives me such life. When Jeff Lynch came in, I just wish there was more of him around, and I love the banter between the two of you. And
We're like an old married couple.
Yeah.
the stuff he says off the cuff was just getting me so tickled. And then most recently, those episodes with Dustin, he's just a bright light and an enjoyable person, and I've loved all the guests, but my favorite is when I'm learning, when I'm laughing, when I'm loving. That's like a sign on Hobby Lobby. Learn, laugh, love. No, but life's too short to like not enjoy what you're doing, and I just love it when y'all are talking about the thing you love so much, and you're blessing people with it, but we also get to have friendship, and yeah, it's a really neat thing.
That is, I agree 100%. We're definitely closer than we were a year ago, and I as most dudes do, I know very surface things about my friends, all of my friends, some of my closest friends. And then to learn about you through the podcast, because we have tried to open up, we have tried to be transparent. And so that's been wonderful, because I think we are now the three best friends that anybody's ever had. And so it has been so much fun. And yes, our guests have been great. As soon as Jeff Lynch qualifies for the Boston Marathon, we'll have him back.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So then we can talk about his journey. And then all of the berating he took from me for years and years will have been worth it.
He'll have to own it.
He'll have to own it at that point.
Say thank you.
Nothing I ever said to him was false or untrue. So, and I want to say that, talking about being business owners, and I'm going to try to equate this to everything. So please stick with me real quick. We're going to try to wrap this thing up, but I'm going to try to land this. As I was talking before we started recording, there were days at the Exceptional Bean in the first 6 months where I talk about, and I'm sure you've had them at Express Footwear. I'm sure you've had them.
Yeah, did not sleep at night.
Because it's easy when you have a job, and I'm not knocking anybody that's got a 9 to 5. I did it. Yep. But when somebody else is handling the books and cutting the checks, there's a lot of security in that.
Well, and I don't mean to interrupt, but there's just different muscles that fatigue.
Yes.
There's different stressors.
That are just not present. And then when they're there, you're like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
But please continue.
That's right. And there were things that I had never had to worry about. The making payroll had never been my concern, right? I just needed to sell tires or sell this or sell that, and that was not my price. That's what I did. And so in the first 6 months, there were several times where I was drafting a resume because I knew this was never going to work. I got to find a job. I was trying to figure out how in the world we're going to break it to our Bean team, that this is getting ready to go away, this thing that they love. And so there was some getting emotional here, man. There was some,
but God,
but God, and so there was some very sleepless nights, and so my point is, we kept going, and let's get through today. Let's just get through today, and that's how I view running. Is oftentimes you have a run where it's just like, oh my gosh, what am I even doing? I'm not getting an inch better, and I know that time of year we're in that time of year because it is hot. We talk about that a lot. Keep going. Just keep going. And so, and everything in life, there's going to be struggles, and just keep going. And I think that's the point. And running, had I not had running, I would have sent that resume out. I would have started looking for an out, and I would have needed a job.
Definitely, I don't know. Not that running is necessarily what I want to define me as a person, but had I not found running to be therapeutic and an escape or an outlet, I don't know where I would be at, kind of where my life would be at today as far as like my profession or just kind of where I would be. You never know how that would happen, you could what if a lot of things to death, but just for the sake of us being a running podcast, and I feel like that's, I don't know.
The discipline to me is the part that I take away the most, and it has changed my life in immeasurable ways. The reason that and I think to speak to your point and to talk about the discipline side of it and just keep going, is I want everyone to have this opportunity. And there was a whole point for me in the beginning to just kind of wrap this thing up. The whole point was to widen the door. I think so many people look at running and immediately dismiss it as something that they can't do. Yeah. Well, have you ever considered walking? Yeah. Okay. And that's what we're talking about. This doesn't have to be, you don't have to go be an Olympian sprinter, right? You can go out and walk and just start a fitness journey, because if you start your physical fitness journey, it will boost your mental journey. If you start that, then the spiritual, it all gets stronger when it all gets stronger. And so you can become a runner. You certainly become, if you're able-bodied and you can get out the door, you can become a walker and go as slow as you need to.
Just go move.
Just go move, and it will change your life as it has changed ours. And
We've
so,
been encouraging
Yes.
yeah,
to folks that want to start, that are currently running, or just wherever they're at with that. Hopefully we've at least been encouraging to that, and I hope.
And one of the things we do in recovery in AA is we oftentimes will ask a newcomer, especially after they start to get it, we're talking maybe a month in, and one of the questions that was asked to me was, where do you see your life in 5 years? Because you start to see things improve in that first month, especially if you're working the program. And what is so eye-opening is that in those you always sell yourself short. You cannot imagine where you're going to be in 5 years. And so that is what I want you to take away. Just imagine where you can be in 6 months. Imagine where you can be in a year. And just tiny, tiny efforts will add up over time, and it will change your life. And so if you take nothing away from all of these episodes, please take the way that you can do this. You are worth it. And this can change your life. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, guys, thank you very, very much. We appreciate all the support.
The love, the comments, continue, keep those coming, keep tuning in. I think our anniversary episode, I feel like we've nailed it.
It's just nailed.
We just nailed it.
Yeah, and we have
Perfection.
Perfection, baby.
we have dreams for the future too. Briefly,
Yes. Yes.
Maybe doing some interviews at runs. I would love, and I've never pitched it, but like to do live from Express Footwear. It doesn't have to be live, but like come to their store, or the Exceptional Bean, or like go on location.
Yeah,
and
I think that's be.
And I would also welcome any, because our contact information is on all the places. So you could reach out and make suggestions. What do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Comments, things of that nature.
Well, and that's it too. I think we're going to continue to get better at this. I think we're going to have some social media, some specific Runner Dudes podcast social media coming soon. So please be looking for that. And we're getting better. We want to see this thing continue to grow. And again, if you got any suggestions on how we can be better, you got an idea for an episode.
Hey, hopefully, if you've got questions, or if you have things that you would like us to possibly discuss, hey, submit those on any of our social media stuff. Correct?
Yep.
Just throw those in there. Let us know. That would be that only helps us out.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be very helpful.
Willow Window. We'll do that
Willow
again.
Window, thank you,
Thanks.
Jonathan.
John, and
we
again,
really appreciate it. We
yes.
love you, ma'am.
Yeah, and Sight and Sound.
Yep.
And we got Express Footwear,
Express Footwear and Running.
Runner Dudes,
Coaching.
Coaching and Consulting. I don't even know what my thing is. Jeez, get it together. I know, you know how much I love talking about me. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you. The Runner Dudes podcast is sponsored by Express Footwear and Runner Dude Coaching and Consulting. Produced by Jimmy Thorpe at sightandsoundcreative.com.